So now let us discuss principle of superposition. The principle of superposition, till now what we have seen is in bars in series, they were acted upon by the same force. So if there was 30 here, there was 30 in the opposite direction here, and we could have solved it. We found out delta L of this under the influence of the same load, delta L of this member under the influence of the same load, and similarly CD, and we could add them up. Now this is a special case where the loads will be different at different joints. These are three different members, A, B, C, BC and CD, and they can be made up of different materials, so you will have different E. They can be of varying length, so you will have different L also. And from the figure it is clear that the cross-sectional area is same for all the three members, but you can always have a situation where the cross-sectional area is also varying for all these three sections. Now in this type of problems, what you need to do is you need to find out the effective value of P or the applied load. In the previous case where the single load was applied, the same load was applicable for all the three or four members that were connected. Here you have different loads at different points. This type of situation arises especially in the case of connected members, like in the case of chassis, where different body parts or mechanical parts are supported on it, and they create different types of load. So principle of superposition says that the sum of forces in one direction is equal to sum of forces in another. So the direction will be clearly mentioned in the problem. You can say P is given here. So you need to first find out P. So to find out P, what you do is you add forces in same direction. So 50 plus 30 is equal to 70 plus P. You get the value of P. That comes out to be 10, and the direction is specified. Now what you need to do is you need to solve the problem either starting from left to right or right to left. In both the manners you get the same answer. Same answers with the same magnitude and the same direction. So if you move from A to B, the process says that you need to isolate member AB. So if you isolate member AB, you can see that this is what you get. This is 50 and this is 70 here. So if you isolate member AB like this, when you are moving from left to right, the left force will act as your reference and the right one is called as your manipulator. So you need to manipulate the right one in such a manner that your purpose is solved. So if this is your reference, this has to be kept. So what you do, the general process is you add 30 depending upon the reference and you subtract 30. So principle of superposition, if you bring this back here, principle of superposition is still followed. So you are never going out of the principle of superposition, and you have added 30 and you have subtracted. So this force and this force form the representation here. So this is resolved. What is left is 70 here and 30 here is actually, if you go to section BC, 70 here and 30 here is 40 here, is 40 in this direction, and P you have already found it out as 10. Now to balance this, what you do is, again this is your reference and this is your manipulator. So what you do is, again you add 40 and you subtract 40. So if you add and subtract 40, this and this, they are brought back here. So these two form the reference here, and still you can see that principle of superposition is being followed. What is left is 10 in this direction, 40 in this direction. If you come to CD, you have 50 in this direction and this 50 is already there, so it is balanced. So you have all the three forces of magnitude 30, 40 and 50 acting like this. Now you need to find out the total change in length, delta L. So to find out total delta L, it is delta L of AB plus delta L of BC plus delta L of CD. So this is AB plus BC plus CD. Now delta L of AB is PL by AE. You have found out the value of P. This is positive because it is tensile in nature. So PL by AE you get here if there are changes in value of L, A and E, you get changed value. Here the forces are compressive in nature, so it is represented by a minus sign, so this is minus 40 L by AE. Here also the forces are compressive in nature, so you have minus 50 L by AE. If you add them up, you will get the total change in length. How to find out the length, cross-sectional area and E probably are known to you. E is a material property, it will change if you have a different material for different sections. Cross-sectional area and length may also change depending upon the type of the problem. The purpose of this entire principle of superposition is to determine the equivalent forces that are acting on each section, which in the previous cases was constant for all the three sections. Now let us take another problem of principle of superposition. You can see this is a member of length 1 meters, 0.4 meters here and 0.6 meters here, and it is acted upon by a load of 100 kilonewton. The load is acting in this manner. Now this is a principle of superposition because you have three different joints. This is one joint, this is another joint, this is another joint, and all the joints are acted upon by different loads of different magnitude. Now here when it is supported, there is only forces in one direction, so you have reaction in one direction only. So let us assume that this is a reaction RA acting here, and let us assume that this is a reaction RC acting in this direction. So by looking at the problem, you can estimate that the first equation that needs to be formed is, the problem here is you need to determine the stresses in the sections AB and BC. The problem is find stress in AB and BC. So to find the stresses, you need to find out the equivalent load that is acting on all the two members. So you need to frame certain equations. So the first equation says that, by looking at the diagram, you can say that RA plus 100 is equal to RC. By principle of superposition, you can say that RA plus 100 is equal to RC. The directions of RA and RC that you may choose according to your own convenience. If the answer comes out to be negative, then it is assumed that the direction is reversed. Now another statement or another, here you have two equations, two unknowns. So to find out two unknowns, you actually need two equations. So the other equation says that delta L of AB will be equal to delta L of BC. So you need to determine the value of delta, because their sum will be equal to 0. Or you can say that means plus is equal to 0, or you can say delta L AB will be equal to minus delta L BC, whatever manner, but ultimately you can say that this equation is true. Delta L of AB plus delta L of BC, this is equal to 0, because there is no provision for increase, because it is rigidly supported from both sides. Now you need to find out delta L of AB and delta L of BC. So if you isolate element AB, let us say this is element AB, this is element AB, here you have RA and here you have 100. So what you need to do is, this is your reference, this is your manipulator. So you are adding RA and you are subtracting. So when you are adding RA and subtracting RA, this RA and this RA come here and form this is RA, this is RA. So this is your one equation. Now come to the other one. Other one says that, now if this is RA here, this is actually 100 plus RA here. So you have, for another element BC, you have 100 plus RA here, and you have RC here. Now 100 plus RA and RC both are same, so you can see that this is automatically balanced. So if you need to find out delta L here, so what if you use this equation now? So this is RA into L by AE. Now L is different for both the members, so you can put different values here. Maybe the cross-sectional area is not different, but you can have different cross-sectional areas also. They can be made of different materials also. Plus 100 plus RA into length divided by A is equal to 0. In this equation you can say that, see that L, A, E all are known to you. So only RA is unknown. So from here you calculate RA. So once you get RA, you get RC. So the stresses produced in AB. So you can say that stress in AB is equal to RA divided by cross-sectional area of AB, and stress produced in BC is equal to, BC carries a load of 100 plus RA. So this is 100 plus RA divided by cross-sectional area of BC. So now you can calculate the stresses in both the members.